Welcome to The Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson. Thank you for joining me in this week's episode. Now, this week's episode is a bit of a chat about something I saw on social media from Lisa Loves Balayage, and a little bit of a kind of requested episode, actually. This is probably a really highly requested episode. One that I've touched upon before, but haven't been into recently, and I haven't been into it in this way. And I'm really going to explore how you find your worth, your value as a hairstylist. What do you want to take home at the end of the month? It's all in your hands. And so I'm going to show you how I made myself a six-figure stylist and how you can too. So it's a really, really cracking episode. I hope you enjoy it. Two things I wanted to say. A massive, massive thank you to everybody that supports the channel. It is a keen part of the Life of Hair community. I really want it to feel like that. I really want you to be able to engage and connect with me. And the other thing that I wanted to just mention was that, obviously liking, subscribing, thumbs up, all those things really help the channel. They help all creators though. So, not just me. Don't just, think this is a me thing. It helps everybody. It helps everybody that has a YouTube channel. But there's another thing that you can do for us to support the creator, and that is watch the videos for the entire video from start to finish. Don't click off before the end because you think we're running out of steam. If you enjoy that creator's content, do them the massive favor of just watching till the end. Now, someone asked a question when I touched upon this before: what happens if I click on and click off later, or if I click on and save it and click off? I don't know is the truthful answer to that question. I'm not entirely sure whether that's registered as, someone clicking off or not. YouTube have that little red bar now at the bottom of each video that kind of takes you back to where you finished. So I'm presuming that if you watch a little bit of that video, then obviously it will help. The other thing is adverts make a big difference. If you watch our adverts, I know they're boring. I know they're like, not another advert, but they do make a difference to us, the small people. When you're watching big TV channels and the adverts come on, and we get frustrated and bored very quickly. But us, the small fry, the little guys who are making content that is specifically for you, the ads make a big difference. So I just wanted to let you know that it's not just about me. This isn't just about you supporting me. This is about you supporting other content creators, as well as obviously it will benefit me in the long run. But it will benefit me in the sense that I want to bring you more content. I want to bring you more content. I've got a list of requested videos that I could roll down the road, and if I could get half of them done in 2021, I would be thrilled. So on that note, thank you very much for listening to me. Enjoy this week's episode, and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, let's have a little bit of Lisa Loves Balayage action. Now, I really like her channel. I'll link it just there. If you don't follow Lisa, then make sure you go and check out her stuff. It's very educational. It's very interesting. I like her style. So she's got a project on. She did this project yesterday. This was from her Instagram story. Let's have a little watch. So this is what she's dealing with. She's a corrective process here, and very much like the way she's taking this on. And these are great steps to follow no matter what you do. And it's all in the setup, guys. When we deal with how much we're worth, how much we want to charge, how much we need to charge to pay the bills, it's all in the consultation. End of story. Consultations are so important. They give the opportunity to talk about pre-treatments, how important they are, take strand tests to see if we can actually do the service. They're also a very, very important part of the consultation phase. In the consultation, you need to lay out the price once you know if you can do it. You need to be clear about how long it's going to take and all the steps that you're going to take in that journey, so the client knows what they're paying for. Very, very important before you do their hair. So step 1, 2, and 3, all wrapped up. Step 4, the actual service, obviously. Once you've got through all those steps, you can then start doing the hair itself. Now, Lisa did some foils, looks like some kind of teasing going on at the root area there, lots of foils packed in. 2.5 hours for the foiling process. Now, one of the questions was, really, 2.5 hours to foil someone's hair? And Lisa's response was, I'm not a robot. I like to do different weaves in different sections, blah, blah, blah. As long as you are telling the client from the outset that this is a 2.5 hour job to just do your foils, it doesn't matter if it's a 5 hour job. As long as they know it's going to take that long, they're willing to wait that long, and they know how much that's going to cost. So, next step. She then puts a root colour in between. She says a low light, but I mean, to me, it looks like it's completely saturated the rest of her hair with a low light colour, which she says she puts on 15 minutes before rinsing. Great. Obviously that low light colour is going to add dimension and contrast to the lighter pieces that she's added, and that's what's going to create that beautiful balayage effect, even though she's using more of a foiling technique and not a true balayage hairstyle. Hair colour rather. So contrast is one of the most important factors to doing a successful lived-in blonde. We're going to call it that because it's not really a balayage. Okay, all rinsed out. Pre-toner wasn't shown. Pre-toning. Pre-toning is great. Love a bit of pre-toning. Redken Shades EQ for me. Pre-toner 9V, 9T, equal parts clear, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, on and off, just to kick out the yellow tones, you know, especially when we're talking lighter colours or maybe a little bit of oranginess, to allow me to put another colour over the top and kind of not worry about having a lot of violet, an excessive amount of violet in there that it could then turn the hair violet, things like that. Pre-tone is a great thing, but again, we must charge for these steps and the client must be aware that pre-toning will happen to them. The next thing that she does is melting time. So she's doing a root smudge, colour melt, just to blend away the root area and diffuse the highlights that she's created, obviously making everything softer and last a lot longer. So here we have full toner application, looking minky and violety there, which is nice. And now we're about to see the finished result. A beautiful job done by Lisa, which is no surprise because she does lots of beautiful hair. 6.5 hours work, a lot of work on one client in one day. Is that okay? The answer to that is yes. Beautiful hair takes time. And to think that we can get some jobs done in less time, that job specifically, can be a bit of a fallacy. We need to be realistic about how long our work takes and are we charging for it. So, you know, I love express techniques. I do lots of express techniques. I talk about express techniques. I talk about getting the clients in and out as quickly as possible. But don't get me wrong when I say sometimes I'll have a client in my chair for 6.5 hours, because that's what it just takes for that specific client to get the job done. So at the end of it, she asked questions. Now, some of the questions that came about were really, really interesting. One person said, really? 2.5 hours to put a set of foils in? Another person said, do you find that you lose money when you do these kind of services? I thought that was really interesting in terms of a question. That is a question from somebody who hasn't set their prices very well. There was other questions like 6.5 hours on one client. Do you enjoy doing a client for 6.5 hours? And Lisa said, I enjoy seeing the look on their faces when it's all finished and they're super happy, which I thought was a great way. Just besides, you know, Lisa's great response, I felt like the majority of the questions were fairly negative in that sense. There was very few questions that were just like, great job, you know, it took 6.5 hours, you really plugged it out, blah, 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 you know. I felt like the questions were all kind of like, oh, I'm sick of doing these huge colour corrections. We are living in a world of colour correction, more so than ever before in history. And it's become more important than ever that we know how to price ourselves accordingly. So let's have a little look at how you, no matter where you are in the world, can price yourself in accordance to what you want to earn. It's super easy. It's not technical maths. It's not long division and, quantum physics. It's really about understanding what you want. What do you want to take home? Right. Now we need to know what that is per week. So we take it and we divide it by 4 and we get 750. So you see where this is going? You need to earn 750 pounds, dollars, euros, yen, whatever per week. And now we need to divide it by the days that you work. So if you work 4 days, it will be a higher target per day. If you work 3 days, it will be higher. If you work 5 days, it will be lower relative to the amount of days that you are working. So we're going to do it on a standard 5-day week. 150 pounds, dollars, euros, yen, whatever per day. That's how much you need to earn to take home 36,000 pounds, dollars, whatever a year, providing you're taking home 100% of what you earn. Now, I obviously know that's probably not the case, so you will need to factor in the percentage you need to give to the person who employs you. Now, if you're self-employed, then this is how it is. But if you're employed, then it's slightly different. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We now need to know how much is this per hour. So we need to know how many hours in a day we're willing to put in behind the chair. So I'm going to suggest we say 7 because some people will take lunch breaks. Some people won't take lunch breaks. Some people do 12-hour days. Some people do 15-hour days. We're going to go with 7 because obviously if you did an 8-hour day, you had a lunch break, God forbid you had a lunch break, then you'd probably do 7 or 8 hours a day. But we're going to go with 7 because it the less hours you do in the day, the higher the numbers are. So the more hours you do in the day, the easier this becomes. Yeah? So we're going to go with 7, just to explain why we're going with 7. We're going to divide 150 by 7. Okay. So I need to earn about 21.50 per hour, whatever currency you want that to be. So each client on a 7-hour day needs to be charged £21, let's say, 50 per hour. Does that make sense to you now? Do you understand, with it broken down in that way, that if you want to take home £36,000 a year, so let's especially talk about you, the freelancing crew out there, you need to charge your clients on a 7 hours day £21.50. Now that doesn't sound like a whole lot of money. Now, where this becomes a different kettle of fish is when we talk about the people who are employed out there who are giving a higher percentage of their earnings to their boss. Now, obviously, running a salon is expensive, so any bosses out there, this is not beating up on you. I understand where the money goes. Rents, rates, business loans, all manner of things eat into that particular stylist's earning potentials. So, for you guys that don't have that, you now know for £36,000, dollars, euros, yen, whatever, per year, you need to do 7 hours a day at £21.50 per hour. This sum is exactly the same no matter if you want to earn £100,000 a year. £100,000 a year is your target. You break it down over a month, a week, a day, and an hour. Hopefully this is all making sense to you now and you're having a bit of a eureka moment with it all. Okay, this is for the employed people out there. This is how you earn £36,000 a year. We're going to imagine that you're on a 70-30 split. 70% goes to your boss, 30% goes to you. Now, how would you earn £36,000 a year? Well, first of all, you would need to take £120,000 a year. And of that £120,000, 84,000 would go to your boss. Don't think he gets all of that, because he definitely doesn't. Okay, and then you would get 36,000 take home. Now, how does that work out? Let me show you. £120,000 in takings. £120,000 divided by 12 equals £10,000 per month. This is a year. Let's just do that. Year. Okay, £10,000 per month. Then we divide that by 4, and anybody that's good at maths will have already worked this out, which is 2,500 per week. And then we need to take 2,500 and divide it by the days that you work. So let's go with 500 per day. And then we need to work out what that is per hour. So we'll stick with that 7-hour ratio. And so therefore we divide 500 by 7. And now we need to charge the clients £71.50 or dollars or whatever per hour. So that's it. You need to work out what you also need to know what your employer takes off you in terms of percentages. Once you know those two things, you can easily work out what you need to charge per hour. If you want to earn £36,000 per year, you need to earn the business overall £120,000 a year. That's 10,000 a month, 2,500 a week, 500 a day, £71.50 per hour. And you set your prices based on that. Now, this is the golden bit. So if you stuck around for this, then you're having a winner today. Let's say that you want to take £71.50 per hour. How do you know how to set your prices? So you need to know, first of all, how long each service takes you. So a cut and blow dry takes you 60 minutes, then it's £71.50 for a cut and blow dry for you to hit your target of £120,000 in a year, for you to earn £36,000. Now remember, this is a 70-30 ratio. If your ratio is different, the numbers are different. It's not really difficult to work it out. Right. You need to boil it down to how much you need to charge. So 71.50 hour is £17.80 per 15 mins. Easy. So now we know if our service is 1 1/4 hours, we need to charge £89.30 per 90 mins. This doesn't matter what currency you do it in. It's all about you earning your potential. So, I can't tell you it any other way than that. What I can say though is, even if that didn't make sense to you, I am considering holding some kind of educational event. It will be a paid event, where we consolidate what you need to do to earn your potential. I'm thinking Zoom class, so we can see each other, so that we can really engage and connect, so that you can come away from that class knowing exactly how you earn what you want to earn behind the chair, so that you don't do a colour at a loss, so that you take home at the end of the month what you feel your worth is. And that is so important, because I know we do this because we love it, because we love people, because we like making people happy. But at the end of the day, we need to get paid. And if this would help you one step closer, I would be thrilled. So if you're interested in a Zoom class where we totally take out of that class exactly what you need to earn and how you may best get there, then please let me know. Either DM me on Instagram, DM me on Facebook, comment on this video so that I can kind of send you my email address. I'll link my email address in the description of this video so that maybe you could email me and say that you would be interested. Because I think it would be a fantastic thing if you could all earn more money at the end of the month. I've been James Atkinson. This has been The Life of Hair. I hope you found this interesting. If not interesting, then a little bit insightful. Have a wonderful week, and I shall see you again for another episode of The Life of Hair.